to say anything because I knew the truth, and so did they. So it didn't matter what others said. Cavs didn't want me there. Breakups just linger, Paul. You can never just move on. What is your reaction?
You know what? Players in this league today are very sensitive to the trade rumors. And by him hearing he was going to get traded, he insinuated, hey, why don't you guys just let me go then? Leave me be. But that's part of the business. That's what we have to understand. The business of basketball is more. You see Isaiah got traded, you got traded. Both of them were a little salty. Well, Isaiah was a little salty. You wanted out because you heard the rumor around draft time. So whatever you need for motivation, go right ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough for us to sit up here at 40 years old, retired, saying, you know, it's the business.
I'm
we
40?
know that.
Oh, yeah. Yep,
sorry,
you're over that one.
You're my old head. You're my old G. But we understand and know that, but at 22, 23, 24 years old, you know, that can be hurtful. It can hurt your feelings, you know, especially when you lay it all on the line for that organization. But to me, it's just hard for me to believe that the Cavs didn't want him there. I mean, you're talking about a generational player, a great player on the floor, a good guy off the floor. Why wouldn't you? He sells seats, he sells shoes, he wins you basketball games, he hit one of the biggest shots in the history of the finals.
Wait, so you're saying you don't think that they were shopping the idea of, hey, we'll trade Kyrie
Well, I think
in June?
everybody's available.
Okay.
Everybody.
But specifically,
is
you
available.
don't.
I mean, you know,
once the Cavs saw how far away they were from the Warriors, they explored it. They said, man, how do we get better this offseason, as every team does? How else do you get better? Kyrie is pretty much their best bargaining chip outside of LeBron. Kevin Love, who knows what he would have got back, but, you know, they had to kind of like throw the filter out there to see what happened. And they said, oh, we can get Isaiah? He's disgruntled? Let's do it.
For me, this is a perfect example of taking things out of context because the only thing we put up there is Cavs didn't want me anymore. The reality of it is this. He didn't want to play second fiddle to LeBron James anymore.
Right.
That's the elephant in the room. And so now he has an opportunity in Boston to be called some things he would never be called in Cleveland. The leader, the best player. That would never have happened in Cleveland. It just so happened that it worked out good for he and Isaiah because they both got traded to the two best teams in their conference. One, the Cavs is a championship contending team because we'd be talking about this a lot different. He got traded to one of the worst teams in the game.
Exactly.
He would not be as happy. Neither player would be.
But let's see, you know what? That's not true. It could have happened in Cleveland because who's to say that LeBron, they make one more championship run this year with Kyrie. Say like LeBron leaves. He would have got that in Cleveland. He would have been the man. He would have been the leader. So who knows what would have happened a year out if they had a way.
LeBron James, as long as he decides to be the best player in Cleveland, that's going to take place.
No
that's
doubt.
Not going to change. He's still playing at an elite level.
No doubt.
Absolutely. So it's tough. I mean, emotional. Guys are emotional, and I get it. It's fair. I've been there so many times.
I mean, can you remember the first time in your early 20s, if at all, that you heard, oh, perhaps maybe you're tradable?
Beads.
Do you remember having your feelings hurt? Well, that's it. Or is it a situation thing? I know, well, get out of here.
I got drafted, and before the draft was over, I put the Celtics hat on. They were saying that me at the 3rd pick and Ron Mercer at the 6th pick were going to Chicago for Pippen. I hadn't even went and hugged my family yet.
And then what were your feelings like?
I was in the league, so I didn't care.
Okay.
I was in the league. I was living my dream, so I didn't care. I hadn't even been to Boston.
So you have no,
the biggest misconception is being traded is a bad thing. You get paid the same money and you go into a team that actually wants you at that time.
Right.
It's really a good thing for a lot of people that don't play. They don't understand that.
But it also hurts people's feelings, you guys. Just understand.
I got traded from the Raptors to the Knicks on the same day those two teams played.